Imagine this. You're in the middle of a grocery store, or maybe just trying to put on shoes to leave the house, and it happens. The meltdown. The screaming, the arching back, the absolute refusal to cooperate. In that moment, your heart rate spikes, your face flushes, and you feel that familiar mix of exhaustion and embarrassment. You've tried the deep breaths. You've tried the "I hear you're frustrated" gentle parenting scripts you saw on Instagram, but it's not working. In fact, it feels like it's getting worse. Why is it that the more gentle we try to be, the more out of control our toddlers seem to become? To find the answer, we have to stop looking at the behavior and start looking at the biology. Because what's happening in your toddler's head isn't a power struggle, it's a physiological system failure. To understand a tantrum, you have to understand that your toddler is essentially living with two different brains that haven't learned how to talk to each other yet. Neuroscientists call this the upstairs brain and the downstairs brain. The upstairs brain, or the prefrontal cortex, is the seat of logic, reasoning, empathy, and impulse control. It's the part of the brain that says, "I'm frustrated that I can't have that cookie, but I know dinner is in 10 minutes. Here's the catch. The upstairs brain is under construction until a person is in their mid-20s. In a 3-year-old, it's barely a frame of a house with no roof and no plumbing. Then there's the downstairs brain. This includes the amygdala, the brain's almond-sized alarm system. This part of the brain is fully developed at birth. It's responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze response. When your toddler loses it because you cut their toast into triangles instead of squares, they aren't being bad. Their amygdala has perceived a threat to their autonomy, and it has literally hijacked their entire nervous system. When the downstairs brain takes over, the upstairs brain, the part that can actually listen to your calm words, completely shuts down. This is the neuroscience gap, and this is exactly why your gentle parenting scripts are failing in the heat of the moment. You see, many modern parenting trends focus on co-regulation and validating feelings. These are beautiful concepts, but they are often applied at the wrong biological moment. If you try to explain to a child in the middle of a full-blown amygdala hijack why we don't hit or why we need to leave the park, you are talking to a closed door. Their brain is physically incapable of processing your logic. In fact, for many children, a parent's constant talking during a meltdown actually provides too much sensory input. Your gentle voice becomes noise. It becomes another thing their overloaded nervous system have to process, which leads to more screaming, not less. So, how do we fix this? How do we move from just surviving the tantrum to actually building a brain that doesn't need to explode? It starts with a shift from correcting to connecting with a very specific scientific sequence. Step 1 is the safety signal. When the amygdala is firing, the child needs to know, biologically, that they are safe. This doesn't mean you give them the cookie. It means you drop your own cortisol levels. If you are angry, if you are tense, if you are looming over them, their brain sees a predator. You must get below their eye level. You must soften your face. You must become the anchor in their storm. Sometimes the most gentle thing you can do is say nothing at all and just stay close. Step 2 is the bridge. Once the physical screaming subsides, and only then, can you begin to bridge the gap between the downstairs and upstairs brain. This is where we name the emotion. Science shows that name it to tame it actually sends soothing neurotransmitters to the amygdala. By saying, "You really wanted that toy, and it feels so unfair," you are helping their brain categorize the big, scary physical sensation as a known emotion. You are building the neural pathways that will eventually allow them to regulate themselves. But here is the part many gentle parenting advocates miss. Step 3 is firm boundaries. Biology craves structure. A child's brain feels unsafe if there are no walls. Neuroscience shows that consistent boundaries actually lower anxiety in children. Being gentle does not mean being a doormat. It means being a sturdy pilot. Imagine you're on a plane and the turbulence gets terrifying. You don't want a pilot who comes over the intercom and says, "I see you're scared, I'm scared too, what do you think we should do?" No. You want a pilot who says, "It's bumpy right now, but I have the controls and I'm going to get us through this safely." That is your job during a tantrum. You acknowledge the turbulence, the feelings, but you keep your hand on the controls. You stay firm on the boundary. "I hear you're mad that we are leaving, but it is time to go. I will help you into the car." This combination of high empathy and high structure is what researchers call authoritative parenting, and it is consistently linked to the best neurological outcomes for children. We also have to look at the hidden triggers. Often, what we think is a behavior problem is actually a sensory or metabolic problem. In the USA, studies show that a staggering percentage of toddler tantrums are exacerbated by the big three: sleep debt, blood sugar crashes, and sensory overstimulation. Western environments are loud, bright, and fast-paced. A toddler's nervous system is like a cup. Every transition, every loud TV, every bright light adds a little bit of water to that cup. By 5 p.m., the cup is full. The triangle-shaped toast isn't the problem, it's just the final drop that makes the cup overflow. To reduce tantrums by up to 50%, we have to manage the cup. This means creating sensory islands throughout the day, 10 minutes of low light, no noise, and no demands. It means prioritizing a low glycemic snack before the dreaded afternoon slump. It means understanding that a disobedient child is often just an overwhelmed child. But perhaps the most important scientific truth is this: your toddler's brain learns through mirror neurons. Within your child's brain is a system designed to reflect the emotional state of the primary caregiver. If you are anxious, they will be anxious. If you are faking being calm while boiling with rage inside, they will sense the incongruity and feel unsettled. This is why parental self-regulation is not a luxury, it is the foundation of the entire system. When you take a breath, when you realize this tantrum isn't a reflection of your parenting, but a milestone of their development, you literally change the chemistry of the room. So the next time the meltdown happens, I want you to visualize that under construction sign in their brain. Stop the lecture, stop the long-winded gentle parenting scripts, get low, be the anchor, validate the emotion quickly, and then hold the boundary with the quiet confidence of a pilot. You aren't just surviving a tantrum, you are quite literally wiring a human brain for resilience, empathy, and emotional intelligence. You're teaching them that their big feelings aren't scary, that they can handle hard things, and that no matter how loud the storm gets, you are the one who will always bring them to shore. The road to a calmer household isn't paved with perfect scripts or giving in to avoid the noise. It's paved with an understanding of the beautiful, messy, developing brain of your child. If you found this deep dive into the science of parenting helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are committed to bringing you the latest research-backed strategies to help you raise confident, emotionally healthy children without losing your mind in the process. Leave a comment below and tell me, what is the one trigger that always leads to a tantrum in your house? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're doing a great job. Your toddler's brain is lucky to have you.